Hey, hello there. If you're watching this, probably not live because I didn't share out this link to anyone, and probably in the hindsight future, you're watching a Gauntlet Hangouts game. The Gauntlet is a very cool RPG community full of cool people, some of whom are on this Hangout right now, about to play some cool games. If you want to check out all the stuff the Gauntlet does, it's at gauntlet-rpg.com. You can check out their blogs, where you got a variety of contributors talking about different, RPG topics and whatnot. They have a whole podcast network from actual plays to module breakdowns, lots of cool stuff. Gauntlet-rpg.com. That's also where you'll find Gauntlet Hangouts, where this game was arranged. This game in particular is Masks Caught in the Spiderweb, part 3 of 4. We are playing the Power Beta Apocalypse superhero game all about teen heroes and their confusing, angsty ways, which they resolve through the medium of usually punching people and a lot of like just exerting themselves on. Okay, that's a terrible way to phrase that, but yeah, Masks. We're specifically playing the Spiderweb playset, written by Brendan Conway and Mark Diaz Truman, where we're down in the streets, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man style. We are heroes for hire. Well, not for hire, but that specific comic books heroes for hire, where we're mostly looking after our community, our neighborhood, the shoreline. But before we get into that, let's get to know our players once more, because we have another guest star with us, although they'll be here for the remainder of the series. I'll just, yeah, you know what? Since the line is right there, I'll start with yourself then, David. For everyone here, introduce name, pronouns, and shout out a cool thing on the internet, whether you're involved with it or not, doesn't matter. It's something you think people should get a shout out. Please do so. So I will start with yourself, David.
Hi, yeah, my name's David. I'm based in the UK. I use he and him pronouns. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold, so apologies if my voice is still a bit knackered today. Um, cool thing on the internet. That's nothing I make myself. So I'm going to say, if you've not checked out yet, the Asians Represent podcast is very good. One of the hosts is a fellow Gauntleteer, and it's a really interesting podcast. So do check that out.
Fab, definitely check that out. I'll echo that. Just listen to what was their most recent episode. They just put out a new episode about, but yeah, check those that podcast out. Up next, is Jim.
Hey, I'm Jim Crocker. Folks who know me from outside of the Gauntlet know me because I have been a retailer of hobby games and incidentally comic books, but relative to what we're talking about, hobby games, tabletop games, and specifically indie role-playing games through my partnership with Indie Press Revolution for many years. I own a company called Jim Likes Games, where I sell indie games at conventions all up and down the East Coast and through the Midwest in partnership with IPR to kind of cover this half of the country. So I'm kind of, I guess, an industry professional and have been involved in that for many, many years. I've been on the Gauntlet for about a year, and I'm really, really enjoying playing and creating and running games on the Gauntlet. I'm part of something new that we just created on the Gauntlet we're calling Gauntlet Comics, which is going to be a bunch of linked superhero games that use a shared kind of sandboxy setting that we're all going to sort of build on and expand on as we play and stuff like that. And that should be a lot of fun. So if you're interested in superhero gaming, look for more of that. Online, you can find me at my website, jimlikesgames.com, where I've got a little blog that I'm only just getting started, but should have a lot more stuff for that next year. And I'm on Twitter at jimlikesgames.
Fab. Now, definitely, yeah. In the next year, definitely check out Gauntlet Comics. All gonna be cool. I want to shout out specifically a game that Jim's running called My Life with Master, but with a super villain twist. It sounds
I'm
really cool.
calling it My Life with Mastermind because that's kind of what's going on. Yeah, but instead of minions of a kind of Victorian era mad scientist or evil master, you're going to be henchmen for a supervillain, and we're going to take that system and kind of make a couple of tweaks, move it into the modern day, and play sad stories of the busted up lives of henchmen that have no one else to work for but insane megalomaniacs and like homicidal psychopaths. So
Yeah, no one ever thinks about the poor henchmen you all have to punch. Like last session, you all beat up how many people? Well, we'll find out their stories some other time. But yeah, check that out in probably around February-ish in the new year. Yeah, Gauntlet Comics is cool. Up next, we have Stentor.
Hi, I'm Stentor Danielson, and my cool thing to check out is that I have a small game publishing company, Glitter Cats Fine Amusements, and we are getting ready to do a Kickstarter in February for an expansion to our Laser Kittens role-playing game with a whole bunch of new scenarios and other kinds of creatures that you can play as using the same system, and a brand new deck of kitten cards to go with it.
That's really cool. We could always do with more games involving kittens, which Center seems to be almost not single-handedly, but by themselves trying to bring about as a wave, which I'm all here for. And last but not least, we have Tim.
I'm Tim Osborne. I don't really do much on the wave interesting on the internet. I've been with Gauntlet for a few months, and I do enjoy playing role-playing and tabletop board games. And I'm also all for the games about kittens.
As we all should be. Okay, so again, quick thing before we just dive into it, we need to lay out our safety tools because they're an important part of not just any Gauntlet Hangouts game, but really any game where we all strive to create a comfortable environment, and these safety tools help us to do so. Primarily, the one we're using is the X card. So basically, if things happen in the scene that people are uncomfortable with, they don't want to, it's not a line that they don't want the story to pursue. Just hold up an X or say you want to X card this or put in the chat, and we will roll back. No one gets to ask why. I mean, ask what exactly is being X carded, but other than that, no one gets to question that, and we're going to roll back and figure something else out. We also have lines and veils. They're in the character keeper, and I for myself, I don't really feel comfortable shouting them out on broadcast. I think they're definitely things that all of us should keep in mind. They're another separate tab. There are lines, specifically things that won't show up on screen. They won't be crossed. Veils, we can throw just maybe a sentence or two, just punt it off screen and whatnot. So those are basically our most basic safety tools. And also something which I put in the blurb, which I forgot to shout out in the past 2 sessions, is the open table policy. If anyone needs to exit out of the session, whether any emergency stuff happens, or even if they want to call the break, it's there's a breaking point and whatnot, that's perfectly fine. We'll pause and regroup and figure that out. So that's our open table policy anyway. All right, so we're going back to Shoreline, which is the neighborhood that our heroes inhabit here in not so glittering Prospect City. This city down south, it's if Halcyon is New York, Prospect City is basically Atlantic City. It's got some superheroes, some supervillains, but it's just another city. It's not Halcyon. But I think we're gonna set this session maybe a few days after the previous 2 sessions. Because for those who hasn't seen the previous 2 sessions, they all happened in one night. Somehow it was the long night of Shoreline, and we're gonna get y'all to introduce your characters. And while people are introducing their characters, and specifically, David, we're gonna go to your character because yours is new and obviously hasn't shown up on screen. I want you all to think about a reaction from within the community to the events of the long night, because for those who haven't watched, there were shotguns being blasted by people in vans. There was an RPG attack on a restaurant, and there was a big super villain fight where a semi-major I wouldn't call it major, but like a semi-major crime boss was defeated by local vigilantes. And we're going to meet one of those vigilantes right now. Let's go backwards and start with Tim. Tell us about the Rook.
Okay, the Rook is the protege playbook. His real name's James Ryder. He basically was taken in by another vigilante who no longer fights crime due to an injury, because his apartment building and family were all destroyed in a fire that was set by an arsonist that was later found out to be in the employ of the Spider. He's basically learned impossible fighting skills from his mentor, but he also has developed the ability to build his own minor weapons and gadgets, where his mentor was more stealthy. He also has the hidden base and a few other amenities that he avails the rest of the team on.
Fab. Sorry about that. I accidentally spilled some water. While I'm wiping that, Stentor, tell us about our bull, about Saguaro.
Yeah, so Saguaro, her real name, non-hero name is Jenna Alvarez. And so she has a power wheelchair that normally just looks like an ordinary power wheelchair, but was outfitted by her dad with top secret military technology. So when she goes into superhero mode, it's got an electromagnet and cactus thorn shooters and stuff, and it's all cactus themed. Hence the superhero named Saguaro.
Yeah, and they've been kicking ass with that wheelchair all throughout the night. Maybe a broken heart or two. Well, not broken. Maybe it's still mendable. We'll see. Speaking of the person who maybe not chipped that heart a bit, Jim, tell us about our Janice. Tell us about Hardsuit.
Hardsuit is a Japanese American girl named Tatsuko Masuda. She got her superhero suit from her aunt, who is a kind of a like neighborhood eccentric, fix-it, jack of all trades type of person, but who it turns out is actually a no kidding bona fide genius when it comes to things like cybernetics and whatever polymer construction and stuff like this. But she built the suit. But it turned out she couldn't wear it because the neural connections that were required to run it, she was too old. Her brain had, her brain no longer had the plasticity in order to allow her to do that. But it turned out that her young niece, Tetsuko, was perfectly suited for it. And so Tetsuko has ended up with the super suit that makes her hard suit. It's got a full no eye slit, kind of bubblegum crisis style face mask. And it lets her, in addition to the kind of the normal, enhanced strength, agility, and toughness that comes with just wearing a suit of articulated power armor, she is blazingly, fantastically fast when she gets up ahead of steam. And she has a sensor suite in there that gives her what amounts to basically supernatural senses. When she tunes in, she can hear and, maybe see through walls a little bit and stuff, and, pick up radio waves pretty much as the plot needs us to, I think, it's probably how those powers work. It's, it's like the who's who listing for her in the comic would say, various sensory abilities or something like that we define kind of as we need them, which has been fun. So so she is very much concerned with making sure that no one finds out that Tetsuko Matsuda is in fact Hardsuit, because she's worried that after the Spiderweb took her father away, disappeared him, they've not seen him in I think we said a couple of years at this point. That if They find out who she is. Her mother will be in danger. Her aunt will be in danger. All her friends will be in danger. Everyone who lives in her building will be in danger. So she works very hard to make sure that she maintains those separate relations between her as a hero and her at school.
Fab. Let's hope she continues to do so this session. For context, for anyone watching this, which I hope people are someday, somehow, some way, forgot to mention this, but the Spiderweb, that's not just the name of this playset. That's the name of the vast criminal conspiracy empire that's kind of controlling, if not all of Prospect City, then specifically this neighborhood of Shoreline. Now, there might be... We heard some rumors in previous session that there might be a power struggle. Well, there is definitely, since the team took out one of those power players, but the Spider is still out there, and we'll see if we get closer to getting to the heart of their empire. Maybe with the help of our newest hero, David. Talk to us about our beacon.
Sure thing. So. Yeah, I'll be playing the Beacon playbook today. Our character is called Caetano Ventura. He goes by the superhero moniker of Spectre, or the Shoreline Spectre. His primary superpowers are the fact that he's quite good at being sneaky, and he's fairly acrobatic. More importantly, of course, being the Beacon, he has the power of moxie. Some people might claim that he doesn't actually have any superpowers at all and is just a fairly normal kid. However, he'll show everyone. So yeah, he's his dad is Brazilian, works as a paramedic. His mum is African American, a native of Shoreline. She used to work in the Shoreline District Library until it was defunded recently as part of the ongoing gentrification and land grabbing of the Spiderweb. His superhero outfit is basically one of those sort of half mask things, the sort of half balaclavas that goes up to the eyes, a hoodie, like tactical cargo pants, and some trainers. Most of his actions to date have involved tagging anti-gang slogans on particularly impressive, hard to reach areas of the city, and some fairly concerted hashtagging.
Shame he and Danger Mouse never got to meet. They would have get along really well. I want to go through specifically.
Well, or not, or it would have been a huge rivalry.
Yeah, true, because Danger Mouse could,
Yeah, because rival taggers, they get along great. That's
Yeah, and okay, frivolous question, but how would Kai react to a tagger who can make their tags come to life? Okay,
that's pretty cool. He'd be all over that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that kind of character. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. I want to go just specifically your backstory, but more importantly, your unique mechanic, which are your drives.
Certainly.
What's your drives?
So the drives I've chosen to start with are to earn the respect of a hero I admire, help a teammate when they most need you, pull off a ridiculous stunt, and kiss someone dangerous, which I think covers most of the bases there.
Oh my god. All right, so not only do I have to keep that in mind, but everyone else keep those in mind. They sound like really cool drives to try and help our Shoreline Spectre fulfill. Backstory. Let's go through each of your questions, and then we'll basically go through kind of the rest of the sheet. Start with your backstory, like each of those questions. I guess I'll ask them. How did you gain your skills?
So he's always been pretty good at athletics. He's spends a lot of time out in the city, knows the back streets well. Yeah, that's basically it. As I said, his skills are he's good for a normal human. He is in no way superhumanly skilled.
Fab. So when you first put on your costume, you mentioned you've been tagging for a while, but like what got you to start wearing a costume? Like was it a specific incident or
what I'd like, and this kind of comes in later. I think he's been inspired by the recent actions of the team to take a more active role in fighting back against the Spiderweb. So yeah, I think in the way I see it, this is probably going to be essentially his first outing as a superhero.
All right, makes sense. Who outside the team thinks you shouldn't be a hero?
So yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone. I think it would be fair to say. Particularly, his dad doesn't like the idea of him. Possibly doesn't know the whole superhero thing yet, but wants him to keep a low profile, not get into trouble. He knows the streets are getting increasingly dangerous. He doesn't want him to get sort of caught up in what's going on.
So does your dad know you're a hero?
Probably not. He probably knows that he's sort of an activist, essentially.
Is he part of these? We have a faction here called Change Now. There are a bunch of activists.
Yeah, he almost certainly is. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So why do you try to be a hero? What you getting out of this?
Like I said, he's very invested in he loves Shoreline. He wants to keep it safe, keep it get it sort of back on track, fight against these forces that are trying to corrupt it and take it over. And he's one though he's not content to sort of sit back and just let other people do the work. He wants to get out there and do it himself. Also, superheroes are cool.
And we don't need to ask what is the Spiderweb taken from you. You've answered that. But one of the most important questions in Masks: why do you care about the team?
They seem to be getting results. They're out there. They're kicking butt. They're and yeah, I think they all seem to be younger kids, and he thinks it's important that we make the change happen.
That's cool. I can't wait for the team to have to deal with a fanboy specifically. Let's see if they like it or not. So we don't have to answer when our team first came together because you weren't there. You weren't there when when they fought the evil realtor. Unless you could be there, but you weren't a superhero yet. Or would you rather you heard about them fighting the evil realtor?
Yeah, I think possibly just heard about it.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so talk to us about the relationships then. And then we'll get to influence, and then we'll wrap up on introducing this Shoreline Spectre.
Yep, sure thing. So both of my relationships are quite one-sided. I've kind of already got people penciled in for these two. So my first one is that blank is awesome, and you take every chance you get to hang out with them. I think that I'm going to choose Saguaro for this one. I think Kai thinks they're really cool, and
works for me.
They seem good. You've got to prove yourself to blank before you feel like a real hero. And again, this one seemed quite obvious. I think it's going to be the Rook because he's got that kind of tie to traditional superheroics. So yeah, I think he wants to prove to Rook that, you know, yeah, he is a real superhero, and by extension, the Nighthawk.
Night Falcon.
Yeah, sorry.
Fab. Down for that, Tim. All right, cool. And
Sure,
influence.
sounds cool.
Yeah. Influence. Well.
Oh, yeah, my influence. So that's a bit I forgot to look at. I think that's a fairly straightforward one for me.
Yeah.
I think it's.
You're so excited to be here. Give influence over you to 3 of your teammates, which is all of them.
Yep.
So they get influence over yourself. Fab. Well, it makes sense. Spectre's excited to be here. Oh my god. All right. Okay, figure out how to introduce him then. Okay. So we'll say maybe it's been a week since the long night. Few days. If say it happened on a Monday, we're now on the Thursday. And this is partially so that Tatsuko can make a very significant role, but also because, you know, just add some distance away from long nights. I asked you all to come up with like a reaction from within Shoreline to what happened, which is basically a rival gang leader, the Scorpion, coming in, trying to cause havoc. RPG to a restaurant is a pretty big deal, but ended up kind of falling flat on his face thanks to a bunch of heroes. Start with Jim. What's a reaction within Shoreline, do you think?
Oh, I think that one thing that has happened is that the business owners that that pay protection that get shaken down by the Spiderweb are like it's been a rough few days for them because everyone in the Spiderweb, at least the people that they deal with who come around and collect from them and stuff like that, are angry and aggressive, way more so than they usually are, and are basically like looking for any excuse, like just to just break stuff and just generally be belligerent and hassle their customers and stuff like this. And like it's just been very tense for the shop owners who have those, whatever, like once a month interactions with the people that come by and pick up what they're paying to the Spiderweb to keep the Spiderweb from burning their shops down.
That makes sense. Sawaro, Jenny, let's give us a reaction.
Yeah. So I think that the mayor of the city and the councilman for the district that covers Shoreline held a big press conference where they unveiled a new kind of small potatoes gun control measure that they're pushing as the solution to everything that happened here. And so it's one of those things, like it's obviously inadequate to actually stop what happened, but it makes them look good, and they get to have a press conference and be in the newspaper and stuff.
Do you want to define this mayor, or we'll leave it up as the mayor for now?
Sure, we can give the
even just a name.
Yeah, so let's call the mayor Karen McConnell will be the mayor. And the local council member will be somebody else. Give him a name. I'm bad at coming up with names.
Yeah, anyone want to jump in with a name for this Shoreline councilman? All ears. Gregory. Yeah, I know his name is Gregory. Greg to his friends.
Okay.
Greggy to his close friends.
Maybe Murdoch.
Gregory Murdoch. All right. I'm down for that. They're trying to save face. Good luck dealing with the bird aliens next month. Spoilers. Tim, what's happening in Shoreline? What's a reaction?
Well, I think leaving the scorpion dangling from a street post in front of the police station has also been kind of drawing up some, at least, I don't want to say attention, but basically it's, the public has started to notice, that, stuff is going on, but they're probably still not quite sure what to think, but, there's probably a mixed reaction.
Yeah, I think we define the vice of this particular neighborhood as kind of laziness, and things have ramped up to a gear or two where they just, they kind of have to notice when people are exploding things in broad daylight ish. And for last but not least, Kai, Spectre. What's been the reaction to the events of the long night been?
So I think the sort of increased pressure and attention that it's all brought has meant the police are sort of stepping up their visible action, but it's that very much round up the usual suspects, just bringing in very petty, low-level criminals, throwing them in the cell overnight, and that's about it.
That's a very visible, but not actually getting to the root of the problem's actions. That makes sense. And I think last but not least, I need a roll from from the Janice. It's been a few days, but got a secret identity to keep up. What's been happening over there? So, yeah, when time passes, roll your mundane, see how you're managing your obligations. While you're looking for roll for a party, you'll shout out your obligations. You are part of the gymnastics team. You got an internship, and you've got a best friend.
Can you post our roll for your party link?
Yeah. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, I have it here. It's in the neighborhoods tab. I'll post it here in the chat. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I should make that bigger.
Neighborhoods. Where is it?
Up here in the E, over here. I should make that bigger. To be honest, but
RFYP. There it is. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Okay. Cool. So, because I've been superheroing, I swapped my danger and my mundane. Now, normally when so let me ask this question. So this is kind of a little bit of, I guess, maybe an order of operations thing or something like that. When I've been so I wear my mask to hide my real identity. I can choose what label I try to embody while wearing it. Once per session, I can affirm either my heroic or secret identity to switch my mundane with my mask's label. And so I would basically what I would do is and this is okay. So the secret identity thing is a time passes thing and not necessarily a start a session thing. So what I want to do is basically like I got home that night after all of that and like the mask was busted but then fixed and all this kind of stuff and everything, and like took the suit off and was like, okay, I need to just not put it back on for like at least a week until the heat cools off, because otherwise there's going to be like people are going to be looking for me. We caused a whole lot of trouble, so I just need to buckle down and go to school and not worry about it for several days. So I'm going to affirm by doing that, I'm going to affirm my secret identity and swap my danger and mundane. But having done that this session, I can't do it again. So if shit hits the fan, then I can't, then swap back. But so I'm just going to concentrate on being Tetsuko, which gives me my good mundane back, and then I'll make my roll, which is 5 + 3 is an 8, so that's going to hit on a so that's a 7 and 9.
You've lapsed on one
means
obligation.
I've lapsed on one obligation, my choice. I think it's gymnastics.
Oh dear.
I think I've I got hit by a missile. And I had the suit on and everything, but it knocked me on my ass. And if I go to gymnastics, I've got to explain the huge, long, purple, blue bruise that I have all along my ribs. And I just don't feel like I don't feel like taking falls and getting thrown around and all that kind of stuff. I just don't feel like it right now. So I've kind of I've made a lame call in sick to gymnastics practice this week.
Who's the coach?
Who's the coach? That's a good question. Ms. Hong is the coach. She's Chinese American, former, whatever, NCAA gymnastics prodigy who, just whose knee exploded from a, on a, when she came off a vault wrong, and has been and she's our, very kind of go get 'em Tiger Mom gymnastics coach. She's awesome and super enthusiastic, but also is one of those does not let you slack, or she'll find us if she thinks we're just blowing stuff off, she'll find us in the school and stuff like that. She's a PE, and she teaches PE classes and all that kind of stuff as well. But she's our gymnastics coach, Ms. Hong.
I'm saying you make this call the next day after the long night, right?
Yeah, I don't what I do is I leave her a note, posted it on her office door. I'm not gonna I'm doing my best to try and avoid her.
Okay. Well, the way you describe her, she'll probably see you soon. Maybe. Who knows? Okay. And with all of that, say a week. It's been a week since the long night. There's all these tensions you mentioned. Strangely enough, even there's been, it's still been a week, so there's still, terrible weather, what we call here in Ireland as shite snow. It comes and goes, but it never really builds up. Let's say you're all in school for the moment. This is daytime, and I'm going to assume you're all kind of in the same school. I think Shoreline just has that one municipal high school. What we call it? Just name it after a a little known American president. Those are great hallmarks for nondescript American high schools. Let's call it the Zachary. Okay, actually no, Taft. Taft makes more sense. Who cares about Zachary Taylor? Was he the one who died of infected strawberries? I don't know, or was that lemons? So Taft. We'll call it Taft High. And I mentioned this in the last session, but I am gonna let you all each frame a scene because we're gonna start sedately here. And I don't, because I kind of don't want to do the very typical you're all in the same class. That seems highly coincidental, especially when, or maybe I know Tatsuko and Jenny should be in the same class, definitely should be, but yeah, actually no, that's good. No, do you all want to be in the same class? That just actually make things more convenient, I'd say.
I mean, I think we could, like, if we want to do a thing where we're all in the same homeroom.
Yeah.
And then we split off, and some of us take physics, and some of us take calc, and some of us, some of us are in shop, and some of us are not. Whatever. I think that I think always works.
Yeah. This exposes my ignorance of the American high school system. There we go.
Yeah, like you're kind of in a homeroom where you're sort of organized, like sort of like to start the day, and then if you have just like non-class related stuff that you do, that's kind of how they organize you, and then you split up through the day to go off to do your different classes, kind of depending on the size of the school, but that's how most schools kind of do it. So
okay, actually let's do that. Let's do this proper Gauntlet Hangout thing where pretend we're in Monster Hearts for a bit and start in a homeroom setting. I think the big thing before the teacher gets here, before the home teacher gets here, that someone had on the chalkboard has drawn up a big change now design, and it's kind of a mishmash of things. It's a mix of what some of y'all will recognize as Danger Mouse designs, and some of y'all one of you, not all of you, would recognize as Kai's designs, but someone is clearly kind of taking the two of them and just wrote a big hashtag change now mural on the blackboard. And so what are y'all doing before the teacher's here?
I see Jenna and I as the kind of kids that like go over their homework before school starts.
Oh my god, you're a bunch of dorks.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, I think I can roll with that. No pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, like, because you even brought like, and that's a nice callback to the previous session, where like after I didn't have, like, I came in Monday morning having completely spaced on the fact that we were going to talk about our homework together.
Mm-hmm.
I've been super extra conscientious about it the last several days to make up for it.
So you've made it up. Made up for it. Okay.
What's James Rook? What are you doing in class or in homeroom?
I don't know. I imagine I probably have like a little notebook out, and I'm kind of maybe doing a preliminary sketch of an idea for a gadget I'm hoping to build at some point. But not to the point that it's recognizable as anything. People probably think I'm drawing some kind of anime or mecha or something, but I'm not sure who all. I mean, I know I don't know who Hardsuit is. I don't know about the rest. But
yeah, I was actually going to ask, Segura, when you're out superheroing, you wear a mask?
I
you
think
kind of noticeable.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of like cactus themed helmet that like pops up from the back of the chair, like the headrest transforms into this helmet. But I think it's one of those things that's like I wear that for like functional and aesthetic reasons, but it's not really a disguise, right? Like everybody can figure out, oh, it's the girl in the wheelchair that has transformed into the superhero with the wheelchair. Like there's no point in pretending to hide. So I think everybody that's paying attention to the whole superhero scene knows who I am.
Speaking of people paying attention to the superhero scene, was that something you picked up, Kai? You think?
I think it's maybe something he suspects, but maybe hasn't quite fully worked it out yet. In fact, I think he's going to be sort of sat back in his chair, also sketching in sort of his notebook, and I think he might actually be sketching Jenna, and maybe kind of drawing the Saguaro helmet and accoutrements over the picture, and just sort of like doing that thing. Yeah, he's like I said, he's sort of sitting back, relaxing in his chair, sketching, not in that sort of like the one kid at the back of the room sort of thing. He's fairly sort of outgoing and friendly, but yeah, he's just sort of sat there doodling essentially.
Okay. So there's still probably like 10 minutes. Your teacher, I think you noticed this, unusually late. Maybe 5 minutes passes after bell time. 10 minutes passes. Another 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, you get a chance for some of you to talk to each other, talk to someone. If you have any best friends you want to bring into this, before your teacher is suspiciously late. I think that's the main thing you'll notice. What are you doing? Well, what's the homework then?
Excuse me.
What do you think we're working on? So here's I think the thing that I want to know. What am I good at that you're not good at, and what are you good at that I'm not good at that we get together on?
I feel like chemistry and history would be a good pairing. Do you have a feeling which of those you'd be better at?
Boy, I think I'd be more interested in probably history. Okay,
so you're good at history. I'm good at chemistry.
There we go. Yeah, I'm like the civics nerd, and you're the science egghead. I think that's cool.
Okay.
So
so let's say this is chemistry homework then that we're working on.
All right.
I'm like going over the how to balance the equations with you, and I'd role play that out, but I as a player.
Yes, no. But I think, but it's, but there's there's a lot of, oh, I get it. This is this, and it's like, no, that's actually not.
It's like, no, actually, you forgot this hydrogen.
Why don't they? And it's like, it fits anyways. How do you tell that you need the extra one? And so we're just kind of, yeah.
James, while you're doodling your gadgets, you get a text, and usually, you only ever get text from one person, and this one is suitably cryptic for him. All it says is, "Watch out for Coyote." Okay.
So I kind of just give a short, reply, acknowledged, and I'll assume later that there is a file on who they're talking about that I'll have to look up.
Yeah, I think there's a he's going to be sending you another file. There's a file attached to the text message. But before you can get to that, well, before the teacher comes in, is Kai, what are you doing? You doodled the thing. Have you figured it out, or
possibly? I think I'm probably not going to approach Jenna here, because if she were actually a superior, she wouldn't be able to tell me anyway. So I think he's going to kind of close his notebook and then kind of look up at the clock and do that sort of like, oh wait, I'd have expected to be told to like pay attention and stop what I'm doing by now. I think he's actually going to wander over to the classroom door and sort of stick his head out into the corridor and like look around.
You see approaching is your homeroom teacher. Do you want to give them a name, or do you want me to? Just to
Mr. Patterson.
Okay, Mr. Patterson is walking towards you. He looks really haggard and sweaty. Tie's a bit undone, and he sees you poking out, and he's like, "What are you doing, Ventura? Get back in there. Is the class still there?"
Yeah, we're still here, sir.
I think you don't notice it until you're closer, but right behind him is this tall man wearing a nice suit and sunglasses, and he's walking very martially, but silently, like he's trying to blend in with the surroundings, even though he's a tall man in a suit in a school setting. And but Mr. Pat's like, shh, all right, get in.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of slink back over to his chair and sit down.
Okay, so in the classroom, Mr. Patterson bursts in, and is he the type of teacher where everyone shuts up when he comes in, or not?
I think yeah. Let's say yes.
Okay, so yeah, once he bursts in, silence falls, and he just looks at you. He's marching towards the desk. He looks at you, and then he sees the mural on the blackboard, and he just head whip, and he's like, "Oh, I know better than to ask any of you who did this, because I very much doubt any of you would rat out anyone else. But if anyone knows who drew this trash on the blackboard, come to me after class, and then we'll find out soon. Because for those who don't know," and he ushers in the security man, after recent events here in Shoreline, our principal has deigned fit to employ. He is trying to search his words because he's trying to be diplomatic about this. You can tell this. For someone who inspires fear, he is weirdly disarmed. And he's all, our principal has decided to bring in some extra security to our school after the events of last week. These fine men and women from Coyote Securities will be staffing themselves all over our school in the interim, while our brave men and women force curb the recent happenings in our neighborhood. What we don't need are murals that are advocating for disorder, for any bit of jostling the status quo. And he reaches for his eraser and just angrily erases the Change Now mural, and turns around. His voice is softer. He's like, I expect you all to keep yourselves out of trouble while Coyote Securities establishes themselves here. Understood?
So I'm gonna raise my hand and ask, But isn't expressing dissent an important part of the American political tradition? Like was it the Gettysburg Tea Party? And I kind of look over at Tetsuko.
Boston Tea Party.
That's the one. Yeah.
I'm glad to know, Miss Alvarez, that you're catching up with your history. I'm gonna have to ask Mr. Heller what sort of private tutoring he's been giving you. Clearly, it's been working wonders. This isn't about not giving the chance to speak dissent. This is about being smart. Pasting hashtags on chalkboards is not smart. It's crude and ridiculous. I expect you all to be smarter than that. I expect you all to be safer than that. I expect you all to make sure, keep your nose on the ground, just do your work, and hopefully none of you will get hurt. Any more questions? Good. And yeah, I think he sits down. Homeroom. Well, I don't wherever homeroom goes. But no, this man here who's standing near the door, just standing there watching over you. You can't see what his eyes. He is like the epitome of a private security guy trying to look like a Secret Service agent. He's got earpiece. Is slick back black hair that's like it's basically like a helmet. Nothing out of place. He's not like the ragtag Reservoir Dog wannabes he all fought a week ago. He looks serious, and he's standing there watching over you. His homeroom ensues. That continues. Okay. And I think we're gonna let homeroom pass unless you want to do something. Oh, I think in the middle of it, Mr. Passion calls on you, Tatsuko, and basically says that Miss Hong expects to see you by the end of the day, or he or she's gonna have to come. Her words, not mine. She's gonna have to come to you, and she's giving you the chance to come to her first.
Thank you. I'll go see her.
Okay. And after this, I'm gonna let you frame a scene you want to what do you want to do after all this has happened? Start with Kai. So graffiti's been disallowed, security people around. What do you want to do? And we can be loosey-goosey with the timeline here. Like you can say this be another class, or in between classes, or even during lunchtime. But yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Do you want us to come back to you? Or?
Yeah, no, I think actually maybe just a quick scene with Tetsuko, because I was thinking there's actually a good chance that that Kai's also on the gymnastics team. So I think sort of gymnastics and track and field are sort of his things. So I think maybe in fact possibly just like after homeroom, he's going to sort of catch up with her. So,
what do you want, Kai? You're going to get us all in trouble with your tagging the board like that.
Hey, look, that wasn't me this time. I'm wondering what.
Sure, it wasn't. Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it, but I'm just wondering what it is he did to take Miss Hong off. She's going to rip you a streak if you're.
I mean, I haven't been to practice this week. I haven't. I don't. Look, I just don't. I don't feel good right now. Okay.
Oh, hey. Sorry to hear it. I
like it's girl stuff. I don't want to get into it with you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just I wasn't sure. I didn't think I'd seen you around the last few days. No, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, all right. Just take it. Just go easy. Don't piss him off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they think hiring in some damn mall cops is going to do for the school. It's not like
they're not police. They're private security. That means that they don't have to follow the same rules that the police do. There are serious legal questions about their being here, but since they're here, we can't treat them like they're cops because they're not.
Sure.
Can I like we're having a conversation here? I want to try and sorry, I want to pierce the mask. I want to kind of like because you're clearly like it seems like you're trying to get something out of me, but I'm not quite sure what it is. So I want to see what it is that we're trying to figure out here. So
you want to see the person underneath or beneath?
Yeah, let me see. Let me just open my basic moves file here.
Mm-hmm.
Roll plus mundane. That's a 7 and 3 gets me 10. So I'm going to ask 3. What do you intend to do?
Yeah, he probably is going to, like I said, do something to kind of demonstrate his general disdain for the new security in the school.
What do you want me to do?
I think you probably clock that he kind of wants you to get him in with Jenna.
Oh, okay. And which and I always like to ask this question last because the first two can inform it, which is the how can I get you to question. How can I get you to back me up with Coach?
Oh, yeah, that's a good. It's probably that first. It's like if you yeah, essentially if you put in a good word with him with Jenna, he'll probably help you out with your play.
And so you're kind of thinking about that, and I just corner of my mouth turns up in a sly little grin, and I say, "Were you drawing pictures of Jenna?"
I like to I like to draw and it's not like that. I ain't some kind of creep on nothing.
No. Oh no. I know. Oh my God. I know creeps. Trust me. Look, I gotta just if you could mention to Coach that we talked, I'll talk to Jenna.
Sure. Look,
do you have a date for the dance yet?
I don't know. I mean, hey, if you think she'd be up for it, I'd be happy.
We lost your sound for a second.
Oh, sorry. yeah, if you think she'd be up for it, I'd be happy to take her. I got no plans yet.
David, I can't hear you talking.
All right, is it? Can anyone else hear? Is it gone completely?
I can hear
I
him.
can hear you just fine.
Oh, that might have been me. Okay, that might have been me that couldn't hear anybody. So there we go.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yeah. Sorry. I
Cool.
think that something happened with my audio.
Yeah, no worries.
So do you have a date for the dance yet?
No, I don't. I can. I mean, if you think Jenna would like to go, I'd be more than happy to take her.
I'll ask.
Thanks. That's nice of you. And yeah, I mean, I'll have a word with Miss Hong. She's.
I got to get this over with. So I'll go talk to her after algebra.
Sure.
Okay, thanks. Look, just take it easy, okay? These guys are not like they're not teachers.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
And that's, and I nod and turn and sling my book bag and walk to class. So
Fab. Sorry, we'll not speak that on podcast. We'll leave that for the chat. So speaking of Jenna, Jenny, sorry, I should look that up.
Yeah.
Jenna, what are you doing?
So I think that I've got like a study hall period, and I'm going to go see Mr. Heller ostensibly for some history tutoring, since I clearly need it. But in the process, I want to, because he was involved in this whole thing, and I want to kind of probe for information about, like, what was going on, why was he tangled up in all of that.
Does he know your saguaro? Does he know your saguaro?
Again, I think he would have to know. I don't know. I wasn't at the scene of where he was.
Remind me, how did he end up? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if he knows how involved I was in this whole thing, because I wasn't one of the people that was like at the scene where he was. But I think he knows in principle that I'm a superhero, because, like I said, it's hard for me to keep that a secret.
How did he, remind me again, refresh my memory, how did he end up taking care of you? Like, does he know about your whole deal, like with your dad?
Yeah, because he was the one that helped me get situated, find a place to stay, and get enrolled in school and stuff when I ran away from my dad.
Okay, so I think you...
So we have like a close relationship.
Yeah, and also Tim mentioned in the chat, the reason kind of why Danger Mouse is not here is because someone uploaded a video of the whole thing. So I don't think they caught Mr. Heller. They did caught the animated dustbins, that's for sure. Okay, so I think you'll find Mr. Heller. I think I think you find him when he has an off period. He's at his office, or wonder, do teachers have offices these days? Yeah, I'm gonna assume so. He's doing fine. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I want to roll Pierce the Mask on him to find out more about what's going on.
Oh wow! Before he even gets a greeting, I think he sees you. And it's like,
Okay. Sorry, I was getting too far forward into the scene.
Oh no! You clear your laser focus. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I think he sees you and he smiles like, I finally showed up to one of our tutoring lessons.
I'm having trouble keeping these battles straight, because like there was Gettysburg and there was Antietam, and there was, like, as I'm assuming we're doing a Civil War unit, and that's why I got it mixed up at the beginning there. And so I'm trying to remember like which battle, like what happened at which battle and stuff.
I think he shakes his head and is like, we're not
I've
not
got
to the
these
Civil
notes that are
War
like
yet.
all over the place.
Yeah, I think he's like, Jenna, you're getting ahead of yourself again. We're still in the War of 1812 in terms of American wars.
Okay.
So I wouldn't blame you for not knowing. It's not exactly a glamorous war. You know, that's how we got the White House, but that's about it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I think as they're talking, do you wanna try and pierce the mask now
Yeah.
before he starts telling you about this might be the way. All right.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that that would sort of tell us how good I am at actually getting some information out of him about what happened. Because I'm guessing he probably doesn't want to just like talk about it to everybody, like, "Hey, I was in the middle of this fight with these goons and blah blah blah." Okay, so that's with mundane, which my mundane is 0.
Oh dear.
So
Did that roll? Your
no,
dice?
There we go. Okay, it was just going slow. All right, so that's a 6. So that's an oh no.
No, it's a no. So how do you try to pierce the mask? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do?
So I think, as we're talking about these battles, I keep slipping in details from that fight, like being like, okay, so Commodore Perry, was he the one that had like the RPG in his limo and stuff like that? I'm trying to hint to him that I want to talk about the fight that happened.
I think as you're trying to do this, I think there's a point where he just shuts his book and he just kind of gives you just a very genial but kind of like somewhat sad smile. It's like, look, Jenna, I'm a bit disappointed you're not more upfront with me. I mean, I know what you're trying to ask here. It's not that hard to figure out, Jenna, but yeah, I'm a bit disappointed you weren't upfront with it. And truth be told, even if you were, I don't know what else I could say. I was attacked and I was saved. And really, it's not your job to care about me. Okay? Like, I don't know why. These goons, honestly, it was a bit much, but I got away thanks to some mutual friends. But again, Jenna, you don't have to look after me. I can take care of myself. Made it this far, and I'll be fine. Don't you worry about Mr. Heller here. And he's kind of inflicting a condition on you.
Okay.
And which one would it be, since you kind of failed to talk to him? You can tell he's clearly trying to hide something.
I'm feeling like insecure might make sense.
Yeah.
Right, because like I thought we were like close and could talk about this stuff, and he's kind of shutting me out and telling me he doesn't need me to save him and stuff. So I feel like that would make me feel kind of insecure.
Yeah. And also what he's also doing is he's also trying to shift your labels, because he's trying to tell you who you are in the world.
Okay.
I think he's pulling your mundane up and your savior down.
Okay.
Will you accept that?
I think in this situation, I really would try to resist.
Fab. That's mark potential because you failed the rule.
Influence. Okay. All right, and let me roll this. Reject the influence thing first because that potential is going to advance me. So I'll do that while the next scene happens. But for resisting influence, 6, 7, 8, and what do I?
All right, so you get one of 3 choices.
Okay.
You clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. You shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or you cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay. Yeah, so I like the clear a condition. Because remind me what shift he was trying to do.
He was gonna shift your savior down, your mundane up.
Okay.
But you got a hit to reject that.
Right. I'm trying to think of a good way to try to prove him wrong in the context of sitting like in his office at the tutoring session.
I don't know, maybe question his use of the passive voice in when he said I was saved or I was rescued. Like somebody actually did that.
Yeah, I can go with that, and I think I might explicitly call out the scorpion, and compare him to one of the. And I don't know enough about the War of 1812 to go over this off the top of my head, but compare the scorpion to one of the British generals in the War of 1812, so that like I'm demonstrating a little history knowledge, surprisingly, to surprise him. And so I think I'll leave the insecure condition that he just gave me, but I'll take off the afraid because I'm kind of standing up for myself a little bit there.
Yeah, I think he blinks, and then you see him kind of shudder a bit, as if he just remembered what happened. Which for someone that's trying to act tough, there were still like 4 people with shotguns pointing at his face, and he just sighs and is like, "Look, Jenna, for all this time, I've never questioned what your extracurricular activities are. Not to say them out loud, we know what they are. We're not idiots, correct? But there just comes times when you might find yourself facing odds you might not come back from, and believe me, that's something I wouldn't. Believe me, I'm being selfish here. That's something I wouldn't want to see. But I realize I just said right here, you're an upfront girl. You're not going to stop, aren't you?"
Nope.
Oh, that's what I get for assuming things. Not like your father, you are. Just ready to barrel forward. No care for what will happen to them. It's just a shame that when he tried to do it forward, you ended up in his path, but the past. And I think he's not gonna say it out loud why it was. I think he says it here. We'll broad strokes here because I want to get to one more scene and then we'll break. But he broad stroke basically says that he, in a previous life, he used to be a soldier and he was stationed at a place called I don't know how to pronounce this. Fort. Who you pronounce it? So you're the one who wrote this.
Oh, Fort Huachuca.
Huachuca. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
it's in southern Arizona.
Yes, and mentioned that he was stationed there.
Okay.
For a while. Yeah, and he's not gonna. Well, no. I think he will say kind of that he didn't see. All he saw there was what your dad was up to, and for some reason that makes him valuable. Don't know why, but that's kind of his supposition. I don't know if he's hiding anymore. He's probably not, but he'll tell you out there. And also, he apologizes for condescending to you.
Okay. I will accept his apology. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I think I have to get going for chemistry class because I have to go all the way to the other end of the school to the elevator and then all the way back.
All right, so, that's fine. But when you
get
back, but you better be back for our next history session, and you better know all the damn British generals. Got lucky with that one.
Okay.
Okay. James Rook, what are you up to?
Well, I kind of figured. About what time of the day is this now? Is it still early on?
Afternoon. It's. I think it's getting close to lunchtime. Let's say.
Okay.
You're framing the scene, so it can be whatever time of day you need it to be to do your cool thing.
Yeah, I kind of imagine it's lunchtime, so I have plenty of time. I'll kind of clip off to the bathroom and check out the file that Night Falcon had sent me on this coyote bunch.
Okay.
And also shoot off a quick text to the others through our own communicators I gave them, to basically keep their eyes on the coyote people and not to basically be on guard.
Okay. So this hasn't been reading the files because that's something you were doing in your past, and this is kind of like a new file. And what the weird thing when you get to this file is it's thin because Coyote is new. They're very new. It's like they're not even a month old, and already they got all this weaponry. Well, not weaponry, but they got all this training, all these people, and suddenly they've insinuated themselves into this school. And
could he use the file to assess the situation?
Ooh. Yeah. Actually, yes.
Okay, assess
we'll do that.
Superior, correct?
Yeah, so I don't give away everything. That makes sense. Thanks, Jim.
A 6. That would be a 7.
So ask
since
one
my
question.
superior is down. One question. What here is in the greatest danger?
Okay. So I mentioned Coyote's new. But the weirdest thing is that Coyote, in what Night Falcon's dug up, has had only one job. And that job is to protect Taft High. And here's a note the Night Falcon has stapled into the file. That they were brought up so quickly and they were posted to this place. And here's a note. Basically, what he's saying is that what's in the greatest danger? You guys. I think he thinks the security team was put here to find y'all.
So I'm kind of have a theory, and I don't know if I'm metagaming with this. Is that I'm theorizing maybe the attack on Mr. Hiller might be maybe an excuse to try to get those guys in here. But I don't have anything. It's just a working theory right now. I don't have any kind of evidence. Just kind of throwing that out there right now.
Yeah, I mean,
So are you throwing it out as in you share that with us?
Well,
is that you as a player just spitballing, or as the Rook, do you say to us, "Hey, here's I think what might be going down"?
Well, I might say that later when we're actually together, because I don't think we're together right at this moment. Not to mention, has it been established? Do I know that Jenna is Saguaro, or have I been able to deduce that from, or is the chair actually well disguised in civilian ID?
Sorry, say that again, Tim. You broke up there.
I said I still we haven't really established. Do I know that Jenna is Saguaro, or does the chair actually do a really good job of disguising itself when she's in her civilian ID?
No, I think everybody that's paying attention can figure it out pretty well. So I think you know.
So if if they don't get the text there, I might kind of put a note in the locker or whatever too to keep an eye on the coyote people. Something's up, and to tell the others, since I don't know who Hardsuit is, and we haven't encountered Spectre in costume yet.
Ooh, I want to know. I want to know later if Spectre is a daytime hero, but we'll get to that in a bit. Okay, I think is that all the Rook's doing for now?
I think that's kind of all he can do for now, at least until school is over with and we can actually go back out, as it were.
Okay, I think we'll take a break here then. It's been an hour and a half. We've been here for a while. Let's take 5, and then we'll throw you back in the thick of things. We'll hopefully we'll get to see the Shoreline Spectre in action. We'll see. Wait to find out. Anyway, 5 minutes. Cool.
All right.
Oh, hey, here we all are. Yeah. All right. What was I gonna say? Centaur, just make sure to write out which advance you took down. There's a box here at the very bottom, just so you can keep track. Fab. Okay. All right. So I think here's the thing you all notice as the day goes on. Every time you go to class, there's a coyote agent there standing, and maybe you see one or two of them wandering the halls as the day goes on. At lunchtime in the cafeteria, there's two of them, one at the entrance and one behind the where the lunch ladies are, and you can tell you can tell that it's uncomfortable. I mean, would not say your school is the best, because if you're in Prospect City, you're not those folks upstate at Halcyon, they've got all the best stuff. But it's never even, well, you might have felt, but this is the most your school has felt like a police state. Probably. And I think you see signs of like some of them just like, no, I think most of these KOD agents, they are just looking at the student populace. And yeah, you were in a scene. Jim, we should mention that. Jim was in a scene, did not get to frame a scene. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Oh, I want to be at lunch with Jenna for sure.
Fab. What are you all eating? Actually, yeah. What are you eating?
Oh, what have I've got? I've got a bento box that my mom made for me.
What's Jenna eating? Centaur, you're muted.
Sorry, I was in another tab and then it wasn't like clicking over to unmute it. So I think I get the school lunch. I've got the like reduced price lunch thing since my parents are both out of the picture, and so I'm having, we'll say it's Salisbury steak today, because that was always the saddest thing on the menu at my high school.
So gross. So gross. And I think that's, I'm literally saying out loud, that is so gross. I don't know how you can eat that. You can get salad,
Oh, there is salad. There's like 3 little leaves of lettuce and a cherry tomato.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's right. One of those, the tray with the different little compartments. And so one compartment has the Salisbury steak. One compartment has a ice cream scoop shaped little thing of mashed potatoes, and one has this salad.
Some like green beans that have been like boiled to death or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and then a little carton of milk.
Okay, so look over there. Do you see Kai sketching in his little sketchbook?
Uh-huh.
Do you see how he's not looking at you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see how everybody else is not looking at you, but do you see how he's not looking at you? Like not looking at you?
Uh-huh. Okay, I think I know where you're going with this.
So I think you two should go to the dance together. That's what I think.
So you think, okay. We can do that.
I think that he would say yes if you asked him to go.
Okay. Should I ask him now, you think?
No.
Okay.
No. In the middle of the lunchroom, no.
Okay.
Maybe before, like I would at best time for this stuff, end of the day, right?
Okay.
You know, and then
Okay.
you can like you don't have to like look at each other all day and all this kind of stuff and everything, you know, in case it shouldn't be awkward. I think he really likes you, so you should just be confident. Just treat it like it's no big thing. Because it's not any big thing. You could there's plenty of people you go to the dance with, and he's lucky because you're going to go with him.
So for backstory on this, is Tetsuka the kind of person that has a lot of experience, like asking people out and going on dates and stuff, and you're speaking from a place of experience, or is this something where like we both don't know what we're doing and you're just trying to like live vicariously through me, or what's the background context?
I think I'm probably fairly popular.
Okay.
And I think that I go on dates and stuff like that, and you know, like I'm on a sports team. I'm friends with like the boys on the sports team and all that kind of stuff and everything. And so, like, it's not like I think the thing, I don't have anxiety about it. Just like you say yes, you say no. People go out, they don't, and it's just like this is just how it is. And I knew people like that in high school who fascinated me and were like alien creatures, that it was like just, yeah, this is just how it goes. I was not one of those people, but but I knew people like that. But not like, I mean, like she's not like everybody wants to date her or anything like that, I don't think. But I think I'm just kind of like, you know, I have high mundane and all that sort of stuff and get along well with people and everything. So, you know, popular in that kind of like I just don't have anxiety about it. So my telling you that this is how it is and that you're lucky and that like you could go out with any number of boys is me telling you about yourself.
Okay.
So I am trying to comfort or support you here.
All right. That sounds good.
Let me make a little roll and see where we end up with that. 7 + 3 is 10. So on a hit, you hear me. You can mark potential clear condition or shift labels if you open up.
Okay, so this puts me in an interesting position here, because
sorry, not sorry.
No, that's exactly what we're going for, right? Because I was thinking about asking someone to the dance, but I had a little different idea of who I was going to ask. So yeah, so I'm trying to think the most dramatic thing that I can do here. So I think this is going to make me not open up. I think I'm gonna kind of shut down a little bit, because the fact that you're steering me towards somebody else makes me feel a little rejected. Even if you know it's framed as like a positive, right? Like anybody would want to go out with you. You should go ask that person. And I'm reading the subtext, not me. And so I'm feeling a little rejected.
And just as a player on a 10+, I can clear a condition, so I cleared my angry condition.
Also, I do want to point out that as part of Saguaro's advancement, they took on 2 more roles for the Bull's Heart, one of which is called Friend. When your love or rival comfort supports you, mark potential when they roll a hit.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
So you get
So
potential either way.
You should do that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
So what do you say, Jenna?
Okay. Yeah, so I think I tell it I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I think I need to go get some dressing for my salad here.
Oh, so gross.
Head over to there's a little like station that's got like
the big pumps.
It's got like a pump of that
one
really
ranch,
like
one
gross,
honey mustard. Yeah.
like way too thick kind of dressing. Yeah, so I'm gonna just scoot over there and to get some dressing.
Just for flavor, go on, Jen.
Sorry, and I'm cool with that being the scene. I think that's yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask for flavor what everyone else is eating for lunch. Like like Kai, what are you eating there?
I think Kai's just grabbed like a sandwich or something because he's going to he's not going to hang around eating lunch.
Oh, fair enough. James, Rock, what are you eating for lunch?
I don't know if this is just a West Virginia thing or if it's like it everywhere else. I figured I'd had some of the rectangular school pizza. That's what we always called them.
Mm-hmm.
Ballards put it out.
Ooh, that's fab. Okay, I think let's go right ahead to the end of the day. And some of y'all have some obligations they need to do. Some of y'all probably have plans to scope around. And there is one thing does happen. Over the intercom, everyone hears this. Will Jenna Alvarez come to the principal's office at the end of the school day? So there's that. Are you gonna go straight there, or do you wanna?
Yeah, I'll go.
Do you think Kai catches? Kai, are you gonna ask Jenna out? I guess, or something before? Do you think you catch up to Jenna before?
Not specifically. I don't think. No, not at the moment.
Okay. James, what are you up to?
I'm not sure. I did overhear the intercom announcement, right?
Yeah, not everyone.
So I figure I figure I might kind of shadow Jen a little bit, kind of just since I'm kind of been alerted to the whole shenanigans with the security guys, I'm kind of mistrustful for them. That seems kind of odd.
All right, fab. Okay, so Jenna, make it to the principal's office. When you go inside, the principal's not there, but instead these two folks in suits. There's a man and a woman there. They're standing behind the office, and they're standing behind the desk. Sorry, not behind the office. Behind the desk, looking quite severe. There's a file kind of open in front of them, and the man, I think he's the same one in your homeroom office. Just sunglasses and slick back hair, and he's like, "You Jenna Alvarez?"
Yes.
We'd like to ask you a few questions with regards to an incident in the previous week. Just a few questions. Yes. And he kind of gestures. He gestures at the seat, and then he takes a double take. Like, oh wait, no, you don't. And he nods to the woman, and the woman takes away the seat, give you space. And I think the first question is going to ask is like, just to confirm, you are the daughter of Cal Alvarez from Fort
Wakucha.
Wakucha, sorry.
Yeah.
Fort Wakucha, yes?
Yes.
How long have you been here in Prospect City?
For about a year.
Year separated from your father, correct?
Yes.
Did you know what your father did at Fort Wakucha?
He worked in the engineering department.
Were you aware of what your father was doing for the military?
He was doing military stuff. He didn't really talk about it.
Okay. I think the woman kind of like, oh, for God's sake, Howard, you're cut to the chase already. And she goes up to the file, dramatically turns a page, and there's a picture of you creating a wall of fire from the previous week. And it's like in the brief moment before the fire kind of flares, but that's you. Here's your wheelchair, and your helmet's kind of there. And the woman looks at you. She's got like, much like him, she's got like platinum blonde hair and a ponytail, just looks like just carved from marble. And she's kind of like, where were you doing last week during the long night in Shoreline?
I was saving some people's lives. What were you doing?
Doing our jobs, which, she smiles, which now involves apprehending you. And she takes out a device, and I think you kind of feel it, but like the device is suddenly emitting this pulse that's hampering your wheelchair. What do you do?
Okay, well, so I want to assess the situation first.
Okay.
To see what all is going on here. Okay, so that's one on that. And I did not assess the situation, because that is a 6.
Yeah. So what happens is your wheelchair, you can feel its electronics go dead. And the man kind of like, always have to cut to the chase. All right, I get it. He sounds very exasperated, but he's pulling out a bunch of handcuffs, and he's handcuffing you to your wheelchair. As the woman kind of gags you, as the two of them march you out of the office. James, Rook, I think you see. Yeah, no, they're not. They're being very obvious. I think you see this. What do you do?
Have I had time to get into like costume, or would I?
Do you want
Should
to?
I just have like a? Yeah, I think I'll.
Yeah, because you're about to get into the fracas, so to speak, and protect your identity and whatnot. That's important.
Do I have time to assess here?
Yeah.
Or do I need to just go into it?
Up to you. I think I'll give you a moment to assess as they're wheeling Saguaro out.
Okay, I shall. That is superior, correct?
Yes.
And that is a big. Yeah, my superior is 1. Where is it? Yeah, I got a 5. So,
well, the cool thing is you got a move that means you can still ask a question.
yes,
Oh, yeah, don't forget to mark potential,
So-
both of you.
I did.
Okay.
So,
Okay, you can
I'm
ask one
gonna-
question.
yeah, I'm thinking here. I'm trying to.
I'll tell you the consequences
who's-
of. Oh, go on. Go on. Don't ask a question. Sorry.
I'll say who's most vulnerable to me. I'm assuming that would be with the device.
The one who's wheeling Saguaro out, because their hands are full, so to speak. But the consequences of your failures because you're look, quick change into a costume. That's a tricky thing to master, you know, and you got the time to see them wheel Saguaro out of the building as you change the costume. And yeah, we're gonna cut from that to Kai. And what are you doing at the end of the day? Tatsuko warned you to not get into shenanigans, but
Yeah, so I think Kai is essentially, at the end of the day, you know, he's gone to his locker, sort his stuff out. But he'll have snuck off to get dressed in his superhero costume, because he wants to, you know, try and scope out these coyote security guards. I figure there must be somewhere they're using as like an office or base of operations. So I think he's going to try and, yeah, he'll sneak up onto the roof of the school and see if he can have a peer around.
Yeah, I think the weird thing, you notice that there's a big commotion happening. Suddenly, there's a bunch of vehicles pulling up in front of the school building. There's a nondescript van there, where suddenly you see people opening up the doors. And these two folks in suits wheeling a familiar figure into the van. What do you do?
Yeah, so I'd like to invoke straight up creep in if I can.
Yeah,
which is when I scope out a personal place, roll mundane.
I wish they'd change the name of that move. I know it's a reference to Hawkeye, but come on. All right.
So that's a 10. Bear with me one sec. So I think that's 2 questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to say ask who or what here is not what they seem.
There's 2 cars that are, you see the van here where the wheeling Saguaro. There's 2 cars, and you notice again people in sunglasses. I don't know why they're wearing sunglasses in a car. Well, you know why, but they kind of tense up as soon as they wheel Saguaro out. So you notice, yeah, they've got backup.
Cool. And yeah, what's my best way? Well, I guess in and out. If I wanted to get down there, grab Saguaro and get out, what would be the best way of doing it?
You're gonna want to do it before they get in the van.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Just cut back a bit to Rook. Do you communicate the Saguaro's being kidnapped to folks? I guess to Hard Suit.
Yeah, I'll shoot a message to Hard Suit saying, you know, Saguaro's in trouble. The location, you know, if my cat gets out of the way.
That's fine. Okay, I just want to clarify that. All right, cool. Let's jump back to the Shoreline Spectre. What do you do?
Yeah, so I think that I'm going to yeah, so I reckon, if this is okay, there's one of those there's like a big flagpole just outside the front of the school, in like the yard where the cars drive in. So I think that I'm going to kind of leap off of the roof and grab onto the flagpole, sort of slide down it to the ground, and basically just run across the car park towards them and try and push the person with Saguaro out the way, and just try and leg it with Saguaro.
All that sounds like you're doing acrobatics. All that. I'm not gonna make a roll to get down there because you can do that. You're the Spectre. You can get there, but the commotion is going to alert them, and I think you're gonna have to engage the person who's wheeling the wheelchair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so roll danger.
I rolled a 7, but unfortunately my danger is -1.
Oh dear.
So that's a 6.
Oh dear. And
have we entered into a situation where we can use team yet, or is this not really a fight yet?
It's not really a fight yet. A fight is about to break out. So I think what's gonna happen is, again, you roll down the flagpole, commotion. But the thing is, mark potential. Rolling down the flagpole is not a stealthy maneuver, even if you are quite stealthy. But it's not. So what happens is you're aiming for the woman on the wheelchair, but she's not alone. And just as you're about to reach her, you get tackled to the side by her partner. It's not a powerful blow. I don't think so. You just get tackled, just get waylaid.
Sure thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're gonna be in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Because when he knocks you down, he sees you and kind of smiles and is like, "I love it when they put on masks. It means I can do whatever I want to them." Let's cut to Hardsuit, or I guess you're still Tatsuko for the moment. What are you doing? I think we can broad strokes. Oh no, have you met Miss Hong?
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I am like, I take a deep breath, and like as I reach to knock on Coach's door, I get the text from James, and I look at it, and I look at the door, and I like breathe a sigh of relief, and I run towards the front of the school. So I can clear afraid when I run from something difficult, and talking to Coach is way scarier than any supervillain that I might have to, mix it up with. So I just I scrawl another quick note. Sorry, something came up. Practice tomorrow, I swear, Tetsuko, and slap that on her door, and then go book into the front of the school. And like, I'll arrive when I arrive, when it makes sense. I'm not in costume.
Oh,
it's at school. I can't change at school.
Ooh, that's fascinating. Okay. All right. So,
but I'm running up to meet them.
Okay, Fab. I think you run into James. I'll give you that. James in full costume.
Okay, so I don't run into James.
Okay,
I
go
run
on.
into the Rook.
The Rook, yes.
Uh,
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Oh yeah.
I run into the Rook. Like, I'm booking up the hall towards the commotion, and like, James, where, like when I kind of run into you, like, where are you? What are you doing? Are you lurking? Are you out there? Are you what's the deal?
So I kind of figured I was already following them out. So are you in? You meet me in the hallway, and I'm in full costume, but you're not. Is that what you're saying?
I'm in my school uniform.
Because I don't know your hard suit. So
No, nobody does yet. Sorry, Freak does, but he's not here. So that's yeah.
yeah. So I'll probably just not
So are you
knowing.
are you trying to like keep quiet while you follow them, or?
Well, I was about ready to kind of dive into the action here, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So I come running up, and I say, Rook,
Do I know you?
What's that?
Do I know you?
My name is Tetsuko. I'm a student here. I think my friend Mary is in trouble. Can you help her? Can I do anything to help you guys?
Do you mean the girl in the wheelchair?
And they have her in handcuffs. What's going on?
I'm about to find out. You probably better call the cops.
Go. I say, let's go, and I start booking out there in my, just.
I'm like, you better call the cops. I'll take care of this. So, is it my action now, or so I'm going to just basically.
Oh, well, before that, let's jump to Saguaro. We'll give you a chance to, because you're not in handcuffs. You kind of been gagged,
right?
Yeah. I thought you said they cuffed her to the chair.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. When I say handcuffed, they cuffed her to the chair. Yes. And there's a moment of distraction as one of your captors has tackled this person that you don't know. Looks like a superhero, maybe not. What are you doing? What do you do? You're being wheeled up to this van. It's just an ordinary van, as far as you know.
Yeah. So I think that what I want to do is I kind of want to provoke them. I'm trying to think of what a good provocation would be, because I need to get back in control of my own chair to be able to do anything.
Do you want to give them the finger? No, they'd probably be fine with that.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, what I want to do is what I want to say, and you can tell me if this makes sense. Like they have that device that's disabling a lot of what the chair can do, but I want to say that the part that actually like flips out all the little like semi-decorative cactus spikes and stuff that make it like look thematically cactusy is like a separate thing that's actually just like a mechanical switch. It's not actually hooked into the whole like computers that control the whole thing. And so while they're like holding me, I want to just like flip that switch so that they all get jabbed with little cactus spikes. So it's not that it would like injure them or anything, but enough to like piss them off.
I'm down for that. So yeah, let's provoke them. So roll. Superior.
All right. So my superior is 1. Oh, jeez. I was trying to get them to stumble and let go of the device that's controlling my chair, but I rolled a 3. So even if my superior of 1, that's still a 4.
Okay.
I'm racking up the potential today. I've got that going for me.
What's up with that? I think what's gonna happen is, though the cactus stuff flares out, but you're dealing with professionals. That's the thing. Even though they have their own foibles, so she sees that, she kind of jumps forward, and she just has a small giggle, and it's like, that's really childish. And the van opens. It's just an open cavity, and she kicks your chair forward, and you're going into the van, but she turns around because, Rook, what are you doing?
So basically, I'm kind of charging at her. I throw a bowl at her, try to basically immobilize her, get her to drop the device, even though I technically don't know she has it.
That's fine. So,
but it can accidentally happen.
It could. Well, that's an option if you
see. There's a 2, a 6 is 8. My danger is 2, so that's a 10.
Fab.
So yes, so I'll definitely do the take something from them, which I'll make drop the box. And can we just say it kicks off when it happens? Or
yeah, you get to choose 2 things. You're the 10, right?
And I'll choose create an opportunity for allies by having that box kick off so Saguaro can act.
Fab. Okay. Well, let me just copy paste a thing to another thing. And yeah, I think yes. Describe how you're doing this. You throw the bola and you grab you. I think what happens, when she turns around, your bola hits. Oh, no, it's a bola, so it's like 2 balls in a stringy thing. So it kind of wraps around, and her arm flies back, and the device falls and cracks to the ground because they don't have Saguaro's dad building their stuff, so it's not. So it's kind of kit bashed together, and the what's gonna happen is the weight of it knocks back the one and gets her to fall on the guy that's on Spectre. So this guy whose name is Howard, I just remember that. He's like, yeah, you wear a mask and do whatever you want with you, and he gets knocked back. So you're free for the moment, Spectre. What do you do?
Sure. Yeah, I think he's going to sort of jump up to his feet and run to the back of the van to drag the Saguaro's wheelchair out.
Okay.
To have a speedy escape.
Fab. Okay. Before we get to that, I just want to ask Tatsuko, are you in the scene or?
They go running in and a big Donnybrook starts, and I do that thing where I start to run outside the school, then I stop, turn back, run back just inside the door, and yank the fire alarm.
Ooh. Okay.
Which is going to bring everybody out into the parking lot to see what's going on. And then I run out and I've got my phone out and I've got the camera. And I just start yelling at the top of my lungs. This is the craziest ADA violation that I've ever seen. You guys are, this is discrimination against a handicapped person. That's my friend. You guys are so screwed. You're going to lose your contract for this. And just so I'm clearly filming them. And I have a move that's called mild-mannered, which is when I try to use my civilian identity to deceive, trick, or slip past someone, I can make a roll. And on a hit, they buy my facade. So, this is me just, pretending I'm, just a student and not part of the little superhero team here who's trying to get stuff done. I'm acting like I am, civilians intruding on what's going on here. Does that fly? Does that sound legit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Go on.
So I'm going to roll plus mundane for my mild-mannered move here and see what happens. 8 plus 3 gives me an 11.
Jesus.
On a hit, they buy my facade.
And you don't choose a drawback. Okay.
I don't have a drawback, yeah.
All right. So, chaos, commotion, all this. Meanwhile, Spectre, you get to the van. You see Saguaro, who's got a gag and handcuffed to the wheelchair, but with all the cactus regalia coming out of the wheelchair. What do you do, Spectre? Okay.
Yeah, I think for the moment, I'm just going to. Well, first thing I'll do is I'll take the gag off, and then I'll just take the take the handles of the wheelchair, start rolling it back out of the van.
Okay, that's actually not cool from Jenna's point of view. So, because I've my chair has reactivated because the thing got dropped.
Cool.
And so I think what I want to do is, I think as soon as that happens, so even before Kai gets in there, I want to basically plug into the van like R2-D2 style, like, you know, the thing comes out and plugs into the other computer system, and basically take control of the van itself so that I can now drive the van from my chair.
Okay, that sounds like unleashing your powers.
Yeah. So I've got a +2 on that. So maybe I'll finally hit a roll here.
You can get a second advancement in one session. That's ridiculous.
I know. All right, I cross my fingers. All right, so that's a 10.
Okay, so you've controlled this van now. What are you doing with it?
Okay, so I think that what I want to do is that because I think as soon as Kai takes the gag out of my mouth, I just yell, "Buckle up!" And then I swing the van around to basically try to hit or at least scatter the guys that were trying to capture me.
I'll note that this is the Spectre. With a completely new hero has just shown up to save you. But I think no, you do it. And when the van careens towards the sedan, they also see the commotion. All the people are filing out. They know that they've been rumbled. They're gonna drive off. I think they're gonna wheels screeching as they don't just get out of the way of the van, but they drive as far away as they can. But yeah, so you got this. So the scene is basically everyone is filing out. Teachers. You've got these two. The only people left here are, well, there's a driver in the van that you just jostled because you took control of the van. There's two rumpled would-be security folk on the ground. There's Tatsuko documenting all this. There's a Spectre with Saguaro or Jenny, but I think and the Rook is there looking very cool because they just drew a bola and managed to save their friends. But the thing that Tatsuko also captures is, well, he captures Jenna on the wheelchair with the full cactus regalia on. Everyone sees this. So, yeah. I wanna ask how you all react. Let's start with Rook. You managed to save the day.
So how do I react to what? I mean, do I even see that?
Yeah, no, I think you're there. I think everyone kind of sees you, and there are folks who are like, "Oh my God, it's the Rook!" And there's a lot more cameras now. It's not just Tatsuko, but I think when the inevitable, no, I don't know if the footage leaks. We'll ask her that later. But I guess do you stick around, Rook, or?
I'd say no. I probably wrap on my way out somewhere. There's other buildings, right?
Yeah.
Looks if it looks like it's been cleared pretty well, or the fight ended. Maybe I'll zip tie up some of the bad guys first. That way they can be there to be arrested with the overwhelming flood of evidence that should be coming toward them, and then take off with grapple. Then
I think
maybe
you grapple.
Text everyone to kind of meet like somewhere neutral location, not the base.
All right. I think you grapple off in a chorus of. I think that you've made a few fans. Spectre, how are you feeling?
Yeah, so I think being thrown about a bit in the back of the van, but he's just going to go, oh man, that's badass. How are you doing this?
It's and I give him some like technical mumbo jumbo about the technology and how I hacked into the thing. And so is the driver still in the van at this point?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll tell you. I think when you draw it, go on.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I think if the driver is there, then as soon as I do like the spin around and it's clear that they're scattering, then I think I just pop the back doors open and kind of drive out. And maybe actually as I do that, I kind of like pull Spectre onto my lap and we kind of drive out the back of the van together like that. I think that would be appropriate there.
That's cool.
That's really cool. I think that's what you capture, Tatsuko.
Okay.
Well. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Well, everyone's capturing it, I think. But she got the initial, like, she got everyone's attention.
And I think now that I've got him there, and I kind of see Tatsuko over there like videotaping stuff, and I turn to. I do like a little pirouette in the chair, and I turn to Kai and say, "Do you want to go to the dance?"
Sure, that'd be awesome.
But you noticed that was Kai? That's the Spectre?
It's probably fairly obvious, I'd say.
Okay, fair enough.
I think if we're up that close, I feel like
exactly.
because he's not wearing like a full mask or anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, I'm not ruining that moment. That's great. All right, Tatsuko, how are you feeling? This is all kind of winds down, I guess.
Oh, this is great. I got to help, and I didn't have to reveal who I was, and I swear to everybody that I had no idea that that Jenna was actually Suharu.
I think
it comes as a huge shock to me.
You get a text from your mom asking how are you okay because something's happened in your school.
And I say, I'm fine, I'll tell you about it when I get home.
And she said, please do. And he sends another text saying, my hero.
I'm fine, I'll tell you about it when I get home.
Fab. Okay. I guess, do you all go meet up with Rook? And Saguaro, do you bring along Kai?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, did he ask us to?
Yeah, he communicated everyone should meet up.
Okay, sure. Yes, yeah.
Neutral location.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fab.
Hard suit shows up.
Yeah. What's this neutral location? We say, is it just Rook? Tell us, what's this?
Basically, it's kind of a roof of just a random apartment building I picked out because I'd say I'm probably still sweeping my lair for any potential bugs or other intrusive measures since I got the note, which I will relay to them, is why we're not meeting at the base currently. And just mentioned my theory. I said this kind of lends credence to the theory I was having why the security was hired at this school. I think it was. I think the incident with Mr. Heller might have been to basically give them an excuse to bring those security to the school to try to seek us out.
Well, after today, I don't know if they're going to be able to stay. I mean, they're on camera trying to drag a girl in a wheelchair out of there.
Thing is, until probably about a month or so ago, that firm didn't exist. And I showed them the files. I said they just cropped up out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they have a contract to work security at Taft High School.
What does that mean? I mean, are they part of the Spiderweb?
It's possible. Night Falcon kind of sent me a message to keep an eye on them before this all started. It looks like his hunches came true. And by the way, is Spectre there?
Yeah. I'll have tagged along.
But I believe if anybody else wants to ask any questions or say anything, I'll just kind of.
So is Rook just standing there looking at you broodingly? It's like, well, who's this guy?
Sahara, are you okay? That was, from what I saw on the internet, that was pretty intense this afternoon.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. It was a little nerve-wracking to not be in control like that, but then I got the last laugh on them, so balanced out a little bit there.
You might need to work out a way to shield your chair from the effect any more of those devices. That could be a severe problem if they have more of those.
Yeah. I wish I knew more about how the technology worked. Because I've got all this, but I'm not a gearhead.
We should talk to the person who built my armor.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
they might be able to. She might be able to help.
One thing to note, though, if they had a device to neutralize your chair, they probably had to have at least some knowledge of how it actually works.
Yeah. So they must have military connections, because that's where all this stuff comes from.
I mean, did they ask you any questions that might give us a hint about why they want you? I guess we know why they.
I just assumed it was the technology. They didn't want this stuff on the loose. But
or they want it for them. If it's the Spiderweb, then they want it for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Heller mentioned that he'd been in the military.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, geez, with all this stuff I didn't get to tell you. Yeah, he mentioned when I was tutoring, he mentioned that he'd been stationed at Fort Huachuca, where they were doing all this research.
And
I mean, I guess that has something to do with why they were after him. I don't know the details, but
did he help build your chair?
No, not as far as I know.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I want to ask Kai. Oh, sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I want to ask Kai what it feels like to be part of a superhero like chinwag, so to speak.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a bit starstruck at the minute. Yeah, this is all kind of cool.
Also, is he trying to keep his identity secret from the rest of us, even though he's kind of already been found out by Saguaro?
I mean, to the extent that, like I said, his rudimentary costume allows. He's still got the mask up. Like I said, it's one of those sort of half masks, sort of down from the nose. It's got like the hood on his hoodie up. They said it's not an amazing disguise.
Yeah, I think because I think Stentor mentioned he need to wrap up in 5. Do you think we will kind of wrap up soon? I think we got the most of that there. I think unless you want anything more out of this scene, because it sounds like you're about to set out a plan of action.
Like, I guess the one question that I have is, as far as the Spectre goes, is how obvious is it you're like concerned about, worried about, want to impress Sahara? Like, are you super cool about it, do you think? Or is it or is it a thing where like every now and then the Rook and I kind of like I kind of cock my head, the Rook gives me a little side eye because there's clearly a thing going on?
Yeah, I think he's going to be kind of sticking fairly close to Sawara because if nothing else, she's the one that he's sort of interacted with so far.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he'll sort of say, look, if there's anything I can do to help, then you may have heard of me. They call me the damn it, I forgot the name of our district again.
Shoreline.
The Shoreline Spectre. So I
one that drags all those graffitis all over the place.
Yeah, amongst other things, that's me.
Yeah, the thing you can do to help is like go home, go to school, and not get killed.
No, like, I can, I can do more than that. I can help find some stuff out for you guys if I can keep an eye on these guys, see what their game plan is.
What can you actually do?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he deserves a chance.
Not to mention, he's just placed a target on himself, so it would probably be better for all involved for him to stick with us.
and
we can watch each other's back.
And you say that, and I like put my hands on my hips and like turn my head to look at you like I can't believe you are saying this, Rook. Like, I don't say anything.
Jim, your mic cut out. I can't hear you. Can anyone? Oh. Hello? Jim, hello? Jim, I can't hear what you're saying. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Jim.
Oh, no.
I can't hear Jim either.
Oh. Oh, dear. Yeah, no.
I physically got unplugged.
No. Still, oh, dear. Oh, dear. Don't you just hate it when, like, technology cuts off at, like, a very emotionally fraught, like, moment? It's so...
How about now?
Yes, there we go. Okay.
Here we go. All right.
We lost you after you cocked your hands on your hips.
I need to get rid of this clip. So yeah, and that's like kind of like looking at the Rook like, are you serious? And then I shrug and I kind of like make like a dismissive hand gesture. And I say, okay, but don't expect us to slow down so that you can keep up.
That sure thing. I'll pull my own weight.
You may want to work on a little better disguise as well, just as a heads up. But
All right. Before we wrap up, just like what say we're in this comic book. What's like the last couple panels we see you in? Start with Saguaro. What do you do afterwards? What's like?
So I think to kind of echo the final bit of our last one, I think we see me studying for the history test by myself.
Oh, that's sad. Rook, what about you? What was the last we see of you for this issue of Masks?
I'm probably heading my way toward Night Falcon's. Trying to think the word. Penthouse, yes, to maybe seek out some advice because there's just been some major changes and you might have a little more of what's going on, or at least you need. Yeah, he's pretty good at keeping up on things.
Yeah. I think you kind of see that the Penthouse is kind of on alert, but you have a way to get through those security systems. When you get in, you see in his office, the last time he talked to you, he was all like, yeah, you're better than the rest of them. There's a bank of monitors in front of him. He's kind of sitting in front of them, and he's asleep. You hear him snoring, head kind of slumped. He's alive. You can hear him snoring really loudly. And on the screens are... All right, there's two screens that are on kind of like a visual representation of a spider web, as in, clippings and whatnot, connections, red tie, all that. But also on other screens, there's... it's a file on you and kind of the notes he keeps on you and kind of the stuff he writes about. And just kind of like, there's a picture of you when he first picked you up when you were young. And yeah, I think that's what you see. If you look at it, there's nothing untoward. It's just, notes on, doing better at found a knack in gadgetry, will cultivate that in the future. And then maybe another note saying 2 or 3 years later, astounding inventiveness. He's not going to say he's proud of you, but you can kind of probably surmise that. You disturb him, or you just let him sleep? You muted, Tim.
Sorry. Yeah, I figured I would just end it, me going there, and we could pick up on that next session.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a little dramatic,
Yeah.
Leave off.
Yeah. Tatsuko, what about you?
I think this is where I'm in my civilian schoolgirl ID with my, my book bag, and I push open the door to the little electronics junk shop. And the little bell over the door dings when the door hits it. And I just kind of I say, "Hey, Carl," and there's like a mid-20s kind of stoner-looking dude, in a Atari T-shirt, sitting behind the counter, playing on a Vectrex machine or something like this. And I just kind of walk past him into the back, walk around the back. And there's a little break room there, and that's got like a shitty card table and a 2-decade-old Mr. Coffee and stuff. And it's got like a dorm fridge next to the coffee machine, but it also has a full-size fridge. And I walk up to the full-size fridge, which is like it looks like an old Frigidaire, and I like reach out and put my hand on the handle, but then I leave it there for a second, and there's like a click, and then I pull the fridge door open, and I have to duck to go down because it's like the fridge, but clearly like it's not a fridge, it's a door that actually leads to a stairwell going down under the shop. And so I go down there and I close it behind me. And I walk down into the, and I come in like in a workshop that is clearly where like the suits, like the hard suit gets worked out. And this is not a like, big flat screen TV monitors and stuff. It's like, like old whiteboards and, and like cork boards and transistors all over the place and whatever, circuit boards and everything, and like a soldering iron off on one side and everything, and like hunks of armor in different stages of production and things like this. I say, "Hello, Saber," and the lights come on and stuff starts to hum, and I say, I have a friend who has kind of an engineering challenge for you, so let's talk about how we can solve it together. And that's where we'll cut that there.
That's fab. And finally, Kai, how are you?
So I think in a sort of contrast to that, Kai's final scene is going to be in the local sporting goods store, holding up a couple of different hockey masks and kind of, eyeing them up and yeah, that's
I can't wait to see that in action. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it there. I don't think I have any. No, that's fine. We'll wrap it there. Let's do end of session on the broadcast. Let's see. At the end of every session, choose one. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or go away from the team. Let's start back to Kai.
Sure. Yeah, I think I feel like I've grown closer to the team in this one.
Who made you feel welcome?
Having actually done Sawara, I think, is the obvious choice for that one.
Fab. So yeah, they already have influence, so that means they get to shift your labels.
Sure thing.
Sawara?
So I think I'm growing closer to the team.
Oh no, I meant yeah, that too. But you get to shift Kai's labels.
Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead too far there. So let's see. I think we're definitely shifting mundane down, and freak up. Make sure you're becoming more accepted as a superhero, not just an ordinary person.
One of us. One of us.
Okay.
All right. And so, Kai, you get to clear condition or mark potential.
Yeah, I've marked potential there, as I don't currently have any conditions.
Oh, yeah. Fine. All right, cool. Hard suit.
I think I grew away from the team a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like they had a big adventure that I couldn't join in. They saved her, and then everyone is like, new guy, yeah, sure, and I'm like, what? Wait, new guy with no powers? But the other two were like, yeah, new guy with no powers is great. So so I'm gonna say I grew away from the team. That is why I feel slightly more detached than I did before. And I'm gonna take Sahara, you have influence on me, right? Is that correct? I think.
I think so. Let me scroll down to this.
Yes. You do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remove your influence on me.
Oh,
all right.
God, tumultuous relationship between the two of you.
Oh, that's yeah. I come for come for the masks, but stay for the soap opera. That's
Of course it does. Who comes to the mask just for the mask? But they do. They're like, oh no, sorry, you're gonna get all this emotional
come for
stuff on you.
supers, stay for soaps. That's,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they're the best. All right, we're not gonna get into that. Saguaro,
Okay.
you
So
already said so. Yeah, go on.
yeah, I'm growing closer. I feel I'm growing a little away from Tetsuko, but I don't know she's part of the team. Not quite sure why Hardsuit didn't make it to our little battle there, but it was kind of last minute thing broke out, so maybe she just wasn't able to make it on time.
clearly, Hardsuit doesn't go to the school, so
right, and that's why we don't
town
know
doing Hardsuit things.
Yeah. So
Hardsuit has a life of Hardsuit's own.
Right.
Obviously, Hardsuit couldn't keep the suit at school with her or risk this detection, so it had to have been left at home or wherever Hardsuit leaves it when going in civvies.
Yeah. Okay, and so I'll give that influence specifically to Spectre, since we built a little bond there at the end. I'll clear my insecure condition.
And finally, the Rook. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling I'm kind of still growing into the image of my own self, because even though we did kind of tackle this as a team, it was still kind of disjointed. So I didn't exactly grow away, but I don't feel I got any closer either.
You were doing cool stuff,
yeah. So I figured that my mentor his words of the other night was kind of ringing back to me about being better. So I'm going to shift my mundane down and my superior back up for that.
Interesting. Ooh, I like that. None of y'all have. Yeah, good reason. I like that none of y'all have conditions, which will prepare you for. Apparently, we're having a dance, so you might see that on stage. What's nothing better than a cauldron of teenage hormones while some mysterious folks are trying to kill y'all or capture y'all. So we're going to see that next week. I'm going to end the broadcast here. Thanks, everyone, for playing and being amazing as always. I'll save the rest after broadcast. Goodbye, YouTube.